All right, we're recording.
Here we are.
All right, who wants to start?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'll talk about what the call is going to be about, and then we have some people on the call that can kind of really go into some detail about what the call is about. So we just wanted to talk about tonight. First of all, welcome everybody to the call, and thanks for being on the call, taking the time out of your business to be on the call. And we wanted to do the call to talk about just the business and treating it as a business, if that's what you set out to have this be. And if you're on this call, obviously you do want this to be, the business. You're not like a hobby coach or a, discount coach. So just, we want to talk about in life when things come up and things get hectic and you get overwhelmed and you've got all these distractions and, you're following a bunch of people and you just can't keep up. So we want to just talk about kind of how to get around that and just to work through that. And we don't want to take lightly when things come up in life, but we also just want to stress the importance of just still taking at least some time during the day, once a day, to spend on your business. Otherwise, you're going to lose all that you've put into it so far. So we just want to help kind of share some examples, some things that we've been through, and just how we've gotten through them, and ask for your feedback too, and go from there. So that's what it's about, is just, the struggles, the obstacles, and just how to get past that and how to still make time for your business. Because ultimately, the business is what's gonna, you're creating the freedom that you wanted with this business. So you do have to spend some time on it. So Erin, I know you have some real life experience with this. So
I'm gonna talk about some mistakes I made and also some good things. So most of you know I've been a coach since June of 2010. And I went diamond in 100 days. But then I graduated from grad school. I got a job working for the state, super stressful. So I kind of just let my business go. It was a huge mistake. I stayed coach. I stayed on Shakeology, but I basically became a discount coach for like 3.5 years, which was a huge mistake because I went down to Emerald, obviously, because I lost all my coaches except for my mom and Stuart, who was still working the business, even though I wasn't doing anything. He's my one Star Diamond coach. So I basically did nothing for 3.5 years. I had gotten down to my goal of 160 pounds. I kind of let that go too and gained like 30 of them back. And just huge mistakes, because going back down to Emerald was huge because you max out team volume, and I was missing out on probably thousands of dollars a month. Just doing nothing and just being not understanding what was going on, because my coach got kicked out of Beachbody. I got adopted by Barbie, and it was just a big, huge mess. I was intimidated by Barbie, and it was just, I just stayed away and, whatever. I just drank my Shakeology, but didn't do anything else. And then in April of 2 years ago, I came back and I went from Emerald to 1-Star Diamond in 10 weeks. I was really motivated to make this my job. This is my full-time job since October. I just basically let go from my job. When I said I needed to take extended maternity leave, they said, sorry, can't do it. Hadn't been there a year, no family medical leave for me. So basically I was fired from my job. So basically Beachbody was it. The money on daycare and gas going to my job, it just wasn't worth it. And I was making enough in Beachbody where I was okay. We were going to be okay. We had this huge magical number that we wanted to hit by the end of the year for me to quit my job. And I was about, I would say, $700 a week away from that. So pretty significant. But we figured, what the heck, we're going to be able to put more time into the business, and it'll work out, because we won't have to have daycare. We won't have to have strangers raising our babies. At that time, we thought we were having twins, and daycare for 2 babies is super expensive. Like, it was like $600 a week. It was crazy. Just insane. And, as a master level social worker, I was only making like $36,000 a year. which having a master's degree sucks, especially with $100,000 of student loan debt. Sucks. So we're like, you know what? We'll just focus on this Beachbody thing. And we're like, okay, well, we'll just have to do it a little earlier. That's fine. And then after the twins were about 6 days old, Victoria, one of the twins, her heart stopped beating. And the ambulance had to come. They had to resuscitate her. And we were at Children's for a week. So, I mean, luckily I had Beachbody because I didn't have to worry about work. I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff. I could be there. Even though bad things had happened, I was still, I wasn't posting on social media, but I was still checking in with my customers and coaches because I needed some kind of release. So if something bad is happening, I needed something else to take my mind off of it. And I didn't feel guilty because I knew I was still thinking about her, but really still having somewhat connection to my team. And Stuart really stepped up a lot. And you'll get coaches that'll do that. And you'll realize when bad things happen like that, how much Beachbody really cares and they're behind you. I mean, Empire sent me gift cards for food and a whole bunch of other stuff. And people, Sarah was one of them that came to her funeral after she passed. And it was just really showing that how much people in Beachbody will stand behind you when bad things happen. Luckily, I had my business because if I didn't have it, I would have had like zero income, nothing. Luckily, my team was built up enough that I have had income still coming in. But I think she passed away in the beginning of November, and I think it took me till December to really get back into recruiting and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I was still supporting my customers and my coaches because they were still making volume and still making me money. So supporting my coaches and the customers I already had was key in staying sane and still working the business kind of on the back burner. But honestly, December, getting back to recruiting and sharing my story was probably the best thing I ever could have done because it gave me something else to think about, something else to do besides just sitting there and thinking about it and just feeling depressed about it. And then like everybody was so interested in my story. People were so kind and wonderful, and it motivated people and showed people that what Beachbody can really do for you. And that's kind of what I wanted to share is that, you know, things can happen, like super stressful job and just do nothing for 3 years and miss out on thousands of dollars opportunity, or you could work with what you have at least to still be building some residual income, because that's really what it was. It was residual income. It was repeat orders. It was volume for my team, because basically Stuart's side of my business is how I make my money, because my weak leg, it's like my strong leg is 10 times as much volume as my weak leg. So really focusing on that side, and thanks to Stuart and a lot of other people, Barbie, a lot of people to support, and realize that when bad things happen, reach out to Empire, reach out to your team. They'll help you when bad things happen. Don't try to hold it all in, because that's what I did 5 years ago. I wasted all that time and money just holding in your problems and just leaving it all. It's kind of, I don't know, what I wanted to share is that no matter what happens, like there's times that I've been obviously depressed because, you know, dates come up. My daughter turned 6 months over the weekend, and I really just kind of stayed off social media over the weekend. You know, things happen, but I still scheduled my posts. I still responded to messages when people messaged me about stuff. Even if you take time back, still do the minimum, which is posting, answering messages, things like, because I still did that over the weekend, even though I was trying to do family, like I was in the bathroom, I would do that stuff, you know. And I scheduled my post Friday night so that I knew my weekend could be to my family. And if you just really have to be able to plan. I think that's the biggest thing. Is take time to do stuff, but schedule your posts. Use Hootsuite. Use whatever you need to use. I use Postcron and Sprout Social. That's what I use. But I've used Hootsuite before. So just schedule your stuff. I think you can do it on like pages on Facebook too. I think you can schedule posts. Yeah. But just really stay consistent. And anytime you're not consistent, your income is going to go down, because there's been times that I have not been consistent, have not been posting. And you'll see my back office, I can see exactly when that happened, because my income went down by hundreds of dollars a week when I'm not consistent. I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say.
I think the biggest takeaway from that was just how, when you're not consistent, your team's not consistent either. I mean, the team's only as strong as, the leader of the team. And even though, and then like the team, there's a leader, like the head of like Barbie or something, and she's consistent, but people are looking to you like as a coach, for your consistency too. And like when you said, when you stopped coaching, you lost all your coaches. When you stopped following up with people, and just that energy was just gone, and the positivity was gone, and everybody, you lost so many people. So
absolutely, it was the stupidest thing I could have ever done. Also, I signed up in June 2009 and didn't do anything and didn't make money and quit. So that was also a stupid thing.
Well, don't you have to fail along the way though? That's all part of the process. Yeah. So yeah,
I failed a lot. So you can fail for 3 years and still be okay.
Right.
The longer you're in this thing.
The more you fail, the better. Yeah. One thing too, I heard a quote once, I think actually like Carl Deichler, or it's been on National Wake Up Calls, but that Beachbody doesn't have to be your life. It gives you a life, kind of thing too. So, when we think that we get overwhelmed and, we just can't simply do anymore, and like that's the first thing a lot of us put to go is like our business, our Beachbody business, and to continue with everything else, when really like what you did, like you said, stepped away from social media, stepped away from some things, but still checked in with your customers, still checked in with your coaches, and still showed that that's how you, run a team, and that's how you stay consistent. And they knew that you were, there for them. I'm sure they didn't expect you to be there for them when you were going through that, but like you said, it was your time to get away, and you're just setting the example too. So, yeah.
And that's why
I think too,
you groom others to help you. So when things go bad, you can have people there to help you pick up your slack, I guess. I don't think it's really.
I was going to say too, the one thing, like the biggest thing that I've learned, and like, I think we all make mistakes along the way, is to really like, along with the consistency piece, is like set business hours, like if people are messaging you and if people want a challenge pack or they want more information, it's not like you have to be right there that second to message them. People can wait. There's a great feature, and I don't know if you guys use this on your like page, but you can set like time away, right? Where it's like you're away from 1 till 7 or whatever it is. So this is something I need to get better at doing, because I still find sometimes I'm guilty with answering the messages and being, at people's beck and call. But at the end of the day, like, if they're serious, like you're not going to lose a sale if they have to wait or whatever. And so I don't know, like I found that was really important to balance, right? Because I mean, it is about balance, and like, like to your point, Sarah, yeah, like Beachbody gives you a life, but it doesn't have to be your life. And Erin, same thing, like scheduling posts is great. Like all my clients and my coaches know that like Sundays, like unless it's like our team call or, our Success Club call or whatever that we had been having, like I'm not available. Like unless it's like 911 emergency, like I will do my posts on social media, or I'll post a selfie or something like that of what we're doing throughout the day. But like I really do not do the business on Sundays. Like it's sort of my day to relax. I work full time as well, so it's like and even during the day I just I schedule those hours. Like I think that's really important, so that you, like, as new coaches, don't get burnt out, because I found at the beginning, like, I was getting burnt out so quickly. And sure, I was on mat leave, and, like, I had a lot of time to commit right from the get-go, which was good. But then coming back to work now, I've sort of created that mentality that I'm like, I'm always available, and I'll answer your messages. And so I like did it to myself, right? Like I wasn't, and everyone told me right from the beginning, it's like, create business hours, create a standard so that you're not always available. And it's fine now. I mean, I only have a team of 6-7 active coaches, but like somebody like Barbie, or somebody like, Alita Steele and like Josh Spencer and like all those upline coaches who are managing, thousands of coaches, you can't, like, when your team gets that big, you can't be you know, answering message, like I'm sure they get how many messages a day, right? And I get, you know, they probably also have assistants and things like that help out, but at the end of the day, like you just can't, right? It's impossible. So that's my one kind of key piece is like, you know, be consistent in your business, but also, you know, balance your life and be consistent with business hours. Cause it is a business, right? I mean, we're not open 24/7. And if you, like I said, if you set that precedence early in your business, people are going to expect that from you all the time.
I mean, yeah, I honestly, my hours are 9 to 4, Monday through Saturday, and that's it. Except for like calls and things at night or things that are scheduled, like appointments with people. I don't work at night.
Yeah.
No way. Night is for my family. And from 5 to 7, that is family. Like the phone is away, gone.
Yeah.
Not tonight because my son's gone, but other nights, like the phone's gone away because I have to do that because he's like, you're always on your phone. So he's always on the tablet. I'm like, no, we're going to stop that from 5 to 7. No technology.
Yeah.
No.
And I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, obviously, right? Like if you're working with time zones, like if you're trying to, you know, if you have a challenger that's in Eastern part of the country or whatever, right? Like obviously exceptions, but yeah, for the most part, we're the same way. Right. Although lately I've found like things have been going pretty good for me. So it's like, you do want to be connected and, you know, not missing out. But at the end of the day, I need to go back to basics and just remember that it's like, okay, like you know, if they have to wait a couple of hours, it's not going to be a deal breaker. So.
And I have 4 Facebook messages unanswered and 2 emails unanswered because I know they're prospects.
What? No.
They have questions, but you know what?
Yeah.
I'll answer them in the morning because you know what? They message me after 5, you know, whatever.
Exactly.
I think that takes away from the overwhelmness. I've recently gone to that where like when it's family time, it's family time. And when it's time to like do Facebook messages or do emails, like I'm strictly doing that. Like the multitasking, I think is where you get the overwhelmness from. Like if I'm at work and I'm answering emails and I'm answering messages and I'm trying to post on Facebook, like I'm not in the moment. So your brain's like scattered everywhere. Like I'm like, oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And I'm not concentrating at work. So when I'm at work, I try to put my phone away and I'm not on my phone very minimally, maybe check it at break time and at lunchtime, but I'm getting better at just getting to messages and emails when I can actually sit down and focus and give them, you know, my attention on that. But since I've taken away that like multitasking, trying to do like 5 things at once, it's taken away that like overwhelmed feeling. And I think it's hard for us, like a lot of my team like works in healthcare, and I think it's hard, not an excuse or anything, but it's probably hard for other people too, but we don't have a set schedule. So, you know, one day I'll work 4 to midnight, and the next day I'm 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. The next day I'm 4 to midnight, and I'm 4 to midnight again, then I'm 8 a.m. again. You know, so it's like I can never get a set, like today I'm going to work these hours. So I kind of just have to look at the week ahead of time and just say, okay, you know, I'm going to work on my business this hour, this day, and then this hour, this day, and then, you know, 15 minutes, you know, just kind of fill in. So, but it's just being, you know, intentional and just really like sitting down and looking at it ahead of time and just being intentional. I think the biggest takeaway too, that us moms and people that work and people that, you know, are parents and have kids and have so much going on is to just like, take away that like multitasking. Just when you're going to answer emails and have that time, like 15 minutes or something to answer just emails and go back to playing with the kids, you know, and then taking half hour a different time of day. And so that's what's helped for me. For the multitasking, I realized makes me overwhelmed and just I can't focus, and I got like 50 things to do, and I'm just trying to focus on one thing at a time. So
yeah, and to your point, Sarah, like I mean, if you can't set, you know, like obviously I can't work the business 9 to 4 like Erin does, like that. It's just not possible because I work full time. But you know, I get up in the morning, do my workout, and like, you know, maybe schedule some posts up until, you know, 7:30, and then I'm at work. I usually do like an afternoon check-in, maybe like, I don't know, half an hour, like you say lunchtime or whatever, post a recipe, I don't know, a tip, motivational tip or something. And then nighttime, same thing. Like we come in and it's family time, but I always make sure to get my power hour in like before the day is over, right? Like that's something that's like non-negotiable. So if it's like Camille goes down at 7 and it's from like 8 till 9 or whatever it is, right? Like, and that's how I started. Like, honestly, when I first started coaching, like I really, truly like need to go back to that basics almost, right? Because it was like at the time 3 vital behaviors. Now it's obviously like the 4 vital behaviors, which we've been posting, but and just that power hour. Like that's essentially what I built my business on. So yeah.
I was just going to show an example. So this is
sorry, excuse me for 1 second.
That's fine. This is my calendar. So yellow is family time. So you see Sunday is all family and a big chunk of Saturday's family, and then family's always in here. So pink is personal, blue is workouts, and green is money. That's work. So it's always 2 sets of power hours. So the first set of power hours are written down. Then I'm going to do Facebook messages and finding people on Facebook. That's what I do in my first power hour. And in my second one, I do emails and I write in my challenge groups. So, I mean, that's what I do. So
and what's blue again? Sorry, what's blue? Workouts. Okay.
Walk the dog, workout. I go to fitness classes too at the Y.
Yeah.
So
love it.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I do it. And I do that every Monday morning.
The sooner you get your power hour done, the better probably. I've been trying to do that. But usually it's like at night when I'm getting it done, but I know like I have good intentions. Like I want to start, I'll get better at it. I'll work it in. But I was like, gosh, if I get this on first thing in the morning and get it out of the way and be done, but I don't go to bed until I get at least.
Morning doesn't work for me.
Power half hour maybe, but yeah.
I do
something done
in the afternoon and then one at night. That's when I do mine.
Right.
Because that's when I'm the most focused.
Yeah, so you're doing 2.
More, yeah, two sets of power hours. But I mean, it's my job.
For sure. Yeah.
Wednesday is fully taken up with a call and yeah.
Yeah. One day it'll be my full-time job too. One day.
So what
my spouse is like, hopefully soon.
Oh, I know one thing I wanted to say. One thing I want to say, I just thought of it because my son ran in here, is, Erin, I know when you said that your son was saying how you're always on your iPad and you're always, so we all have kids, I think, and we probably all get that. And I get that a lot too, like a lot from my son. A lot of times he's just kidding, but he does, mention it a lot and complain a lot. But I remind him of what Beachbody does for our family. We went on that, paid trip last year as a family. Even while we were on the trip, I was doing some work, and I took maybe an hour a day, which 2 hours a day. I mean, that's nothing. If you have a full-time job, you're taking way more time away from them than that. Mm-hmm. But he was kind of on me on that trip and constantly nagging me. And I said, you know what? Like, we are here because of Beachbody. They sent us on this trip. They have done this for our family. And then at home, I also say that too. And we do a lot of things because of Beachbody. They went to the NCAA basketball tournament. We go on more vacations. We can buy. I just try to make it a point to kind of point out. Of course, with older kids, he's older. He's 12. But and my daughter too. I mean, I just try to really point out and to remind myself too, like what I think you have to remind yourself of that when you are working and stuff, just what it's done for you. And if you don't really know what it's done, then you need to look into it and see like what is this doing for me and for our family, and
totally,
and reflect on that and just remember that when you're struggling or going through something, or if the kids are giving you a hard time, or if anyone's giving you a hard time. So
no, that's a really good point, because same thing for me. Like I feel guilty, right? Like I feel guilty all the time because Camille's so little, like she's not even 2 yet. And yet, if we're like out doing something family oriented, like, yes, I'm committed there or whatever, but like I will take 5 minutes to post something or whatever. Right. And I know Tyler sometimes gets on me and he's like, really, you're on your phone? Like you're on, like, and it's like, Tyler, like someone's messaging me. I'm just, whatever. Right. And then same thing, right? I'm like, if you want this to be my full-time job, like this is, I'm working towards that. And yeah, I think it's,
just reminding others, and then remind yourself too. Like, this is, I shouldn't feel guilty. I do have to take some time, to answer questions and to do these things away, from the kids. And
totally. I just think it's truly, for me, it's been a balancing act. And I think like now I've got a good momentum and a good schedule. And I think to that, like, I think to all of our points, like we've talked about what works for us. Like, I think for the other 2 newer coaches that are on the call, you're going to find what works for you, right? You will likely make mistakes along the way. It's part of the learning process. It's part of, growing as a coach. But at the end of the day, something will work for you. And if you're struggling, don't think that you need to reinvent the wheel, because honestly, there is so much out there that's been duplicated. And if you're looking for a training guide, or if you're looking for a push to emerald group or something like that, or you want to create something for your team. We talked about this on my team call last night, and it's like the power of duplicity, right? Like there's probably something already out there and that's been created.
Top coaches have made, right?
Exactly. So don't spend a lot of time. Like I call it busy work. People just like to make like new systems and new things, and it's great. And I mean, if you want to do that and you're that type of person, have at her. But honestly, for me, I tried to do that at the beginning, and I tried to get on all these systems, and Brooke Dorset had a system and Josh had a system, and I was like, none of these systems work. I'm spending more time learning the system than I am using the system. So at the end of the day, for me personally, it's like simple. Just keep it simple. Like that's, your power threes, you're reaching out to people, you're inviting, like all doing that plus your power hour, it'll all come. Right. And I mean, now it's like, oh, okay, well now I'm running training and doing all these other things. But I found as a new coach, like do not overwhelm yourself with a bunch of busy work, because honestly, it's just bananas. Like and that'll suck you down. And you talk about multitasking, you'll be so confused, and so you won't know what you're doing. You won't know where you're posting, and you don't want that. Trust me. That's the one mistake I made. And I was like, what am I doing?
Right. Yeah. So, focus on like where you're going to make the money, and that's
exactly.
So
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if you guys have been in the back office lately. I need to look at it more. I've like been in there, been out, been in, been out, but the training in there is like phenomenal. I mean, they've really step that up. And the coach advisory board is all of the top coaches, so that's like they're creating that training in that back office, and it's good. I mean, it takes you through each level and where you should be at and where your volume should be, and it's really good, and it's really simplified, and I plan on using it more. Like I said, I kind of went in there and was pleasantly surprised. I thought, I'm going to check this out, and it's good. It's a lot different than what it was. So
yeah.
I mean,
and
you
if you're
all that stuff yourself, and train. I mean, you can pretty much self-train and pace yourself. We were talking about this. We're having a hard time with training coaches, just because there's the lack of engagement, and just we get busy and we don't check in, and so then we've been talking about how other people do training, and we just signed up for Chalene Johnson's MIA 2.0. We had the regular MIA, so she let us, the alumni that had that, get in this new training course. So we got into that. Any of these mentors or business, Chalene Johnson, like business mentor, kind of thing, they have self-paced training. So they give you the training, and it's your job to get in there and do it yourself. And here we are, like day 1, day 2, day 3, and I think we need to step back from that and just give it, and just train yourself. You need self-paced, just revolving training. So then it's duplicatable for your coaches too. So when they get in, just direct them to that training, and they go that, maybe tag you in it, check in with them, but take that responsibility like off of your chest, and just, we got to make it more duplicatable, where it's like, if you look at everyone that's successful, and the ones that, the business mentors, the paid courses that we're doing, they're all self-paced. They're not holding our hand. They're not, okay, this is day 1. Everybody get day 1 done, then we'll talk. It's, you go in there and you do it at your time. It's your business and, your pace. So I think that just teaches responsibility right away, and how to manage time right away, and, just getting your priorities straight right away. So I don't know how I got on that subject, but
I know Sally and myself made this self-paced training, but I was stupid because they were doing it self-paced on their pages. I'm like, I'm going to do it day 1. No, we're not doing it that way anymore. It's self-paced now. That's
not very duplicatable, because new coaches coming in, I mean, that's stressful to have to post every single, I think of that their day, like I'm having to post, every day, and then I don't know, no one's really seeing it. There's really no engagement, and you don't know. Maybe they are seeing it. You don't know, but it's stressful, and just take that added stress away, and just have something that they can do. Because, I think we're scaring coaches away too, if we're constantly like busy and constantly overwhelmed and like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, and posting here and posting there, and, you're in 5 groups at one time. And so simple, like Trena said.
I know Jen's on here, and for the rest of my team that are going to listen to the recording, take note that at the top of our page, and our team getting fit coach page, it's pinned post that has every single lesson in it. So you can do it that way. And with your new coaches, just tag them in that post and they'll see it. And then it's easy for everybody to use. The training is great. Sally did a great job.
And go through it and do it. I have a 15-day one in my group, and I just started it maybe 4 months ago. And I put I don't know, there's maybe been 3 or 4 coaches that were directed to that. No one's finished it. It's 15 days. I mean, it's like, that was 3 months ago.
Even with this training?
It's not, Heidi, you don't know if you know about it, but it's the new coaches that I've started it with. Like, okay, here's this. And then once they do it, then I'm like, okay, you're one that I need to focus on because you've gone through this and you've shown that you want to focus on the business. But it's just easier to direct them to that, and then they have to find the time to do that. And if they can't find the time to do that, how are they going to find time to work the business? If they can't find time to do a self-paced 15-day training.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I know for me that I would, there's days that I don't get on my computer at all. Like, if I'm in clinical from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. When I get home, I don't even want to check Facebook. So for me to do something self-paced and then I know on Saturday I can make up for it.
Yep.
I need to get better about scheduling posts because on days clinical days, I don't post anything, and I know that it really affects my outcomes. So
I get like that too, Heidi, where I get like that. I don't have clinical 7 to 7, but I get where some days I don't want to be on. I'm like, I have nothing to say. I want to shut myself off from the world, and I don't know why, but I just don't post and I don't get on. But this reminds me of this the other day at work. I was at work on Earth Day, and I posted a picture of me outside. It was sunny, and I was reading a book and stuff, and people at work saw the post. They're like, what? You just posted that you're outside reading a book on Earth Day and you want to go walk in the grass with your bare feet. I go, yeah, that's what happens. You got to schedule your posts. And so it was just because we were laughing because it's you have to I take pictures and I just save, I have them. And if I don't have nothing to post, I looked at some of my pictures I took and I just post the post I took today or whatever of me stretching the pigeon stretch. It was from 2 weeks ago, but it's my content. When I have nothing to post, I just look back at pictures and okay, I'll say something about this today, and just
all the time.
Right.
Which it can almost get you at our job. If they see that, because they check Facebook for us, and so on us, and so if you post something during your work hours, you could technically be disciplined for that.
What if it's scheduled?
So I don't know, you'd probably have to show them
yeah, because when you do post, when you do schedule posts, it does say via post-cron or via
our
is that at Mercy or where's that at, Heidi? Your clinical or Mercy?
At Mercy, they check your social media, and there was one nurse that got fired for posting something on her night shift, but because it's our social media policy. But
was it what she posted though?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, more about what she posted, but
right. Yeah, you can't say this job sucks and I wish these patients would just,
Yeah.
Please don't post about how hungover you feel while you're caring for patients.
Oh,
yeah, that too.
Would be
right.
Yeah, not good. Hashtag don't be dumb.
Yes.
Did I show you my hashtag post-its?
Oh, I love those.
Showed me.
Oh.
I need those. I want hashtag post-its for Mother's Day. Okay.
At Summit last year, everything was hashtagged. I want to get out, or you have the book too. We ended up saving stuff because we just talking and everything was hashtag this, hashtag that. We just hashtag we love tacos. Hashtag I don't even know what they were, but it was a whole list of them by the time we were done.
Yeah.
Have you seen the hashtag from Jimmy Fallon? Have you seen the skit?
Yes.
Yeah.
With, what's his name?
Yeah.
Justin
Timberlake.
Yeah. That was us last year at Summit.
I love it. We're
a little bit behind on the times, but we caught up to the whole hashtag while we were there. So
I love it.
I use the Shalene Johnson hashtag don't be dumb all the time.
Oh, yeah. Barbie had the hashtag STFU.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Something went with that. STFU.
Probably DGAF. That's a popular one.
What is that?
Don't give up.
Oh. Barbie had one. Oh, STFU and then hashtag GTW. Get to work.
Get to work. Oh, that's a good one.
Shut the blank up. Get to work. So maybe that's what I should do.
That's funny. Totally.
But anyways, yeah.
Okay.
I think, you know, it all comes down to just, you know, keeping it simple. And then
I'll give you an example of not keeping it simple, okay? This is an example from back in 2010. So back in 2010.
We're good for examples.
This is a great example. 2010, there were no challenge packs. There were no challenge groups. So you paid $40 and got your Shakeology, and that was like how you signed up to be a coach, which is really stupid. But that's how it was back then. And there was no training back then. Like, there was no training in the Coach Online office. So the Empire had something called 90 Days to Diamond back in 2010. Like, you had to do this thing for 90 days, and you had to do like 100 presentations, and you had to like write down everyone you did presentations to, and you had to do all this stuff or you would like get kicked out. That's how I got to Diamond in 100 days, but that's also probably why I stopped doing anything. Because I was working for the state. I mean, I didn't have set hours. I would work 8 to midnight sometimes. I mean, if something happened at 4 o'clock at night, too darn bad for you. You're not going home. I mean, that's how it was doing investigations in Milwaukee. And I mean, so I would be like working till midnight, and then I have to do all this stupid crap. I mean, I hate it. But Brooke Dorsett posted something in the Diamond Mine about people who got to Diamond really fast, that it took them forever to get like Star Diamond rank. I'm like, well, yeah, it took me until I was a coach for like 4 years to be a 1-star Diamond.
Well, and I answered that in the Diamond Mine because I said, I don't know, like, I don't know how to take that post, or like, I feel differently about it. Like, I feel like I don't like to put like a time limit on it, or like, oh, I got here in this month, because I wanted to enjoy like the journey. You know, I didn't like have in my head, like, I knew I was going for Diamond, but I was enjoying getting there and not so focused on it, and just like surrendering. And I've had to do that recently, just surrender with Success Club points at one point, and with just everything, and be like, I'm just surrendering this to you, and I'm just stepping back, and, you know, let things, you know, happen around me if they're meant to. Same thing, like, people are going to come to you, right? They're going to happen if they were meant to happen. I mean, you can't just not do anything and have that happen, but, you know, you're planting the seeds. And then I just stepped back and just surrendered, and then took the overwhelmness away and took the stress away and just let it be, and things happened. You know, I think we focus so much on just that, like, what other people are doing, and we have to, you know, get there in 45 days or get there in 100 days because so-and-so did it, and why am I not there yet? And
I think the only reason I knew the numbers was because I went Emerald in 10 days, and then they're like, okay, you're Emerald, now I have to do 90 days to Diamond, and I went Diamond in 90 days.
90 days, right.
And that's the only reason I know, is because my coach then, she's like, you have to sign up your mom, and then I found Stuart my first 10 days, so it just worked out like that. But
I didn't know how to count.
Do this and this and this, and like, I don't think that would work anymore nowadays.
Right.
I think the whole you need to do this like pisses people off. It makes people want to quit.
Right.
I mean, I didn't quit, but I
step back,
quit.
Right, because it's like working out. It's like doing a crazy, like, okay, you're just starting to work out and you pick Insanity, which good for you. But you've never worked out before, and you pick Insanity, and you're like, I'm going to do Insanity, and then I'm going to run for 30 minutes every day. And you do it for like 3 days, because no, you can't maintain that. You know, it's like you start too much, too big, too, you know, soon, and you take on too much. Like, it has to be like the lifestyle.
To build the foundation.
Right.
I think I lost my Diamond like 6 months later.
Right. Right.
The show's pushing people like that does not work.
Right.
So I do not do that.
Right. Yeah, well,
I push people when they have goals.
Right.
And that's different, and because they want to be, because they have to be. But if people are like, no, I want to do this before I do my GSR, you know, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, I have a coach that wants
everybody's different.
a workout program before she starts coaching. That's fine. That's what she wants to do. So leave her alone until, I mean, you have to still respect what people want.
Right. Yeah, like, do it like, you know, well, I think that was at Summit last year or somewhere. They talked about like treating coaches like on an individual basis, you know, not having one system, like, we're going to send you this, and then we're going to do the GSR call, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that. Like, just kind of ask them like what they want to achieve, what their goals are. Like, some people want to do the things by themselves. They want to do their first challenge group by themselves, or they don't want to do a challenge group. I think that was it. The girl didn't want to do a challenge group until she had fully done 21 Day Fix completely from beginning to end, so she could get a feel for it. And at the end of it, she wanted to do a challenge group because she felt like she knew what she was doing, and she, she was proof the product, all that. And so that coach then realized, like, you learn as you go. Just like, wow, some people don't follow the whole structure thing. Like, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. Like, just kind of stepping back and asking them, like, what do you want to do? Like, what works for you, or what do you see yourself doing? And then she rocked the business. I mean, she set up as a coach, didn't do anything for the first 21 days until she got through her first challenge group by her, did it for herself, and then did stuff after that. So it just, people are different. And
because that do this in 90 days did not work for me.
Right.
I'm more of I'm going to look for the answer, and then if I can't figure it out, I'm going to ask you.
Right. That's what I do too a lot.
And that's how I am with my coach. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So does anyone want to share, like, on the call, just kind of quickly what, like, your biggest struggle is, like, right now as far as the business? I think Heidi, you said, the hours, they're like 7 to 7 is definitely, a struggle, just because, I mean, you just have to really plan out, like, like you said, your posts. And I know I aim to do 3 posts a day just because that's doable for me. And I feel like, I can give or take a little bit, but
and then I feel like
posting at least once a day, you're not getting engagement either. Your engagement drops off, like, people stop seeing your stuff. So that in the back of my head makes me think, okay, I got to post something today, because I don't want to fall off the face of the earth today. And
I feel like if I have a free hour, like, I feel like I need to do my workout first. And like that comes first, because so that's my struggle right now. Another struggle is just like sharing. We talked about this, like, just sharing the business, the coaching opportunity, and trying to find the right way to present it. I get not what's the right word? Discouraged when I spend so much time, like, on this post, and I post it and it gets like 3 interactions, and so but like, then I have one person like instant message me something, and I'm like, okay, well, that was worth it, because if I get one person interested, then it's worth it. So I just have to like this calls about it, to be more consistent. Like, just do your 3 vital behaviors, like, do your power hour, just make it non-negotiable. It'll be much easier. I keep making excuses about the semester, but I know, like, this summer will be better. I'm only working a 0.5. I have no school. Yes, I have to write my thesis, but whatever.
Whatever. That's why I want to go get my PhD. I don't want to write my thesis.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, it'll get done. It always does. So.
Do you find that, like, if you just don't think about a post too much and just post it, like, you get more engagement?
Yeah, if I'm like real, like, if I'm just like in the moment taking a picture of me and my kids, and I just share something about how I'm feeling, definitely. Right. And I don't know why I don't do it often. I overthink things. I always have. So
I try to do those kind of things like twice a day, like on the clock, just what's going on in the day. Like,
I think we talked about this, like, your most, like, inspiring, motivating time of the day, like, after your workout. It is for me. Yeah, for me. Like, try to just even write down ideas you had during your workout, because you feel like you're invisible and you can say whatever you want after your workout and stuff. Like, post it, schedule it, put it in a draft or something, or write it down. I try to, like, write stuff in a journal, so then if I have nothing to post someday, I can be like, oh yeah, that day I was, and just go off that feeling or something. But try to find that time of day when you're most, like, maybe it's in the morning after coffee, or maybe it's at night before bed, or maybe it's after your workout when you're, mine sometimes in the shower too, of all places. Like, I love being in the shower, and then I also come up with really good ideas.
That's like one place where you're not distracted by anything else, except for when your kids come in and have to, like, go to the bathroom and open your shower curtain. But whatever.
Have you guys seen you can actually get a waterproof pen and paper for your shower to write on?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that like 2 years ago or something. I like screenshotted it because I'm like, I got to get that. And then I lost the thing, or I'm sure I could Google it. But yeah, there's something for the shower, for those people that get those like really good ideas in the shower to like write them down in the.
I'll just use the kids' bath crayons on the side of the tub.
Good.
I have
That'll work.
a waterproof speaker, and it has I don't know what, a Bluetooth or whatever, and so I can play like the national wake up calls. I'm in the shower.
Yeah,
My husband thinks it's so weird.
You have one of those?
Listening to in the shower.
You have one of those?
Yeah.
I gotta get one of those.
I got it on Amazon.
Cool. Yeah. I gotta get one of those.
Speaker. And yeah, it connects through Bluetooth to your phone. Because I would sometimes put the phone way up and hope it wasn't wet. It didn't always work. But that's how I do it. And I listen to like National Wake Up Call in the shower, and my husband thinks it's super weird. He's like, wait,
I do too.
Doesn't it make you take more time? I'm like, no. And then I'm like getting dressed and listening to it. So he's like, what are you doing?
Right.
What? It's wasted time.
Right. I usually do it in the car. I usually at least drive an hour a week. So I usually listen to it in the car. So
Alex is going to have such good mentality.
Right. I know.
Listening to podcasts in the car.
And it's really good for them to listen to. Like my 18-year-old, you know, she'll be in the car, she'll listen to it. But it's like I always have said, even if you don't work the business, or just listening to those calls just help your life in general, and just how you handle stress and, you know, things that are thrown at you. And so.
Sarah, did you hear the part where Shalene said you shouldn't listen to any other podcasts while you're doing MIA?
When was that? Was that her call last night?
Yeah, last night.
I'm listening to the call tonight. Was it a call or was it a lesson?
That live video she did last night.
Okay, I gotta watch that tonight. No, I didn't.
But you shouldn't listen to any other podcast. I'm like, oh.
I gathered that when you said that your accountability thing, like you were talking about what you were gonna do was like 6 figures next year and what your goals were.
Right.
And you said no more PD but Shalene. I
think that's crazy.
I mean, it makes sense. If you're doing some training, I mean, that's obviously personal development. So that was probably why I never have gone through MIA completely. I mean, I spent all this money on it, but I feel like I could do MIA and then do personal development and then do Power Hour and then do this. I mean,
too much.
Hello, overcomplicated it. Thank you, Shalene, for just saying, just do this. You know?
Hour.
Yeah.
MIA, that's it.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it and then sharing what I learned. So.
Right.
Yeah, I listen to Shalene podcasts on my way to Madison each day.
Yeah.
Doesn't want us to listen to that.
They're my favorite.
Yeah. Well, I feel like she's my like woman this month because I'm doing PIO and then I'm doing the MIA and so she's just like everywhere, you know, my buddy. So thinking enough of her. Yeah. Anybody else? Who else is on the call? Is there still a phone?
Is that Michelle? I thought that was Michelle.
Caller, are you there?
417. Is that Michelle? I think it is, but I don't know. Maybe she can't.
It might be. I don't know. Does it usually show the number? Oh, I don't see the number, but you do.
Yeah.
Let's say because usually it shows a number.
417, I think, is Michelle.
Okay.
But maybe she can't talk.
Right. Okay.
That's probably it. I'm pretty sure it's her. I'm gonna look her up. My phone.
Yeah, I always feel motivated after these calls too. Like no matter what, you know, we talk about on the call, I always feel
that's her.
Like motivated afterwards.
Hi, Michelle, even though I can't hear you.
What'd you say?
I said hi to Michelle, even though I can't hear you talk.
Right. Hi, Michelle. I love your posts, your workout posts.
I know.
Well, all your posts, but I mean, your workout posts are good.
Go, Michelle.
She got a call with Barbie too, so that's why
she had a call
with Barbie. That's why.
Oh, did she?
Better, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, one big thing that Barbie pointed out with my call was just how, you know, people don't know that I'm a healthcare professional, you know, at all.
Your posts.
And like the coaching part too, you know, just incorporating both of those more so people know, you know, so I can connect more with, because that's what I want to connect with as healthcare professionals. So, you know, posting more about being a healthcare professional, what I like about it, and just certain things. But like I have to be careful because I can't post certain things, you know, but yeah. So that was.
I know it was like that when I was a social worker too. I had to be really careful what I posted.
Right. Yeah.
Confidentiality and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always on social media because I drove around to people's houses. I didn't look at social media there.
Right. Yeah. All right, everyone. So, anything else?
I think so. That's good.
All right. I heard
Yeah,
Summit. I
okay.
heard that everybody is getting off the waiting list for Summit. So,
Be a lot of people, or enough people canceled.
right. And I was just wondering, I wonder if you could just get a ticket. You know, if you just signed up to be a coach, can you just get a ticket right now since they are pretty much opening up everything, it sounds like. So, cool.
I just hope this condo thing works out because we stayed in a hotel last year. I think we're going to drive each other crazy. I'm worried.
You're staying where?
I'm staying in a condo with my team.
Oh, where at?
We're in separate hotel rooms last year.
Where's your condo?
It's on the river. It's like 0.6 miles from where Summit is.
It's probably by us, because aren't we by the river?
Yeah, we're on 2nd Avenue or 2nd Street.
I think we might be over there too.
Yeah, Erin shared where it was. It was like First, maybe,
Yeah.
or
Oh, so then you must be like just a street over.
yeah,
Because we were right next to the river.
yeah. We took a bike.
I kind of feel bad for my husband because he's going to be there with 5 women.
Right. I know. I kind of want to take my husband, but then I was like,
He's going to be our chauffeur and drive us around.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's these free pedal bikers that would take you anywhere.
Oh, really?
They have little carts.
Huh.
But beware, because they will take you on a ride of your life. And we took it to the football stadium, you know, for the final finale or whatever.
You took
And
Uber.
he pulls up, and there was a 2-seater in the back for you to sit on. And it was, 4 of us, Heidi, or 5?
5.
And he's like, oh, I can take you all. So we hop on, and like he's standing up and somebody's sitting on his seat, and then there's 3 people in the back seat and people on people's laps. And he's going uphill. I'm like, oh my God, how? And then it's downhill, and there was cars all lined up, and there was like this much space between the car and the curb. And we're flying, like, I don't know, we were probably going like 40 miles an hour down, just screaming. And I thought, oh my God, if he made one, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was crazy. We were there in like 2 seconds. It should have taken like 10 minutes, and we were there in 2 seconds.
That's funny.
So,
Sorry, to interrupt. I have to go. We are in the middle of doing our taxes, and I'm told if I don't get off the phone.
oh, you don't have
now-
tax day on the 18th of April?
No, just by the end of April. But if I don't get off the phone right now, I'm going to be doing them. I'm going to have to file my own taxes, which I don't want to do. So,
Okay.
okay. But great chatting. Thanks,
You better go.
ladies. And we'll chat soon. And
Okay.
it's been wonderful. So,
See ya.
okay.
Bye.
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 I'm glad to get my taxes done.
Yeah.
We had to pay in this year.
Did you really?
I always have to pay.
Did you write off a lot for your business, Heidi?
Mm-hmm.
I always have to pay.
We didn't have to pay. Brian took the money out all year. He took 24% right off the top of my check, and we had to pay in $900, but we got $700 back. So, or no, the opposite. We got $900 back and had to pay in $700. But before that, we were always paying in. But I mean, we had a lot of write-offs, though.